Hi everyone, my name is Chavi Bansal. I have secured the second rank in the Delhi Judicial Services Examination 2018. This had been my first attempt and I had not taken any formal coaching for this purpose. I had completed law in June 2018 from USLLS IP University and my schooling is from St. Mary's School, Safdarjung Enclave, Delhi. It was only in November 2018 when the notification had been publicized for this examination that I had begun my active preparation for this examination. Active preparation is something that I say because passively I believe that preparation for any competitive examination begins on the day you decide to take the examination. So since I had been aspiring to take this examination right from my first year in college, I had started preparing with a mindset that whatever I do, this should be done in a way to attain conceptual clarity. So this way, since my concepts were clear, since I had prepared notes during my college days, my preparation was not entirely a daunting experience given the lack of time. Despite that, I had sufficient time to revise my notes, to revise the bare acts. So I believe that consistency over a period of time is an important factor in preparing for any competitive examination. After the notification for this examination had come out in November 2018, I had about 50 days to prepare for the preliminary examination, which was to be conducted on the 13th of January 2019. For this examination, for the preparation of this exam, I'll first come to the structure of this examination. The Delhi Judicial Services Examination is a 3-stage examination consisting of the preliminary stage, the mains and the interview stage. The preliminary stage consists of 200 questions which are to be attempted by the candidates, which cover topics such as English, general knowledge, constitution and other statutes which form a part of the syllabus. For the general knowledge part, I had referred to Pratyogita Darpan and the daily newspaper reading. I had a habit of reading newspapers every day, so I think this habit helped me in my examinations. Otherwise, I used to do nothing special for the general knowledge part. I read Pratyogita Darpans, I revised them and I read the newspapers. For the legal portion, my emphasis was on the bare acts. मैंने बेयर एक्ट्स पढ़े थे और बेयर एक्ट्स में भी मेरा टारगेट होता था कि मैं कॉन्सेप्ट की क्लैरिटी पे ध्यान रखूं. बेयर एक्ट में काफ़ी चीज़ें याद करने वाली भी होती हैं, उनके अलावा उनके साथ साथ जो कॉन्सेप्ट है मुझे लगता है कि उसे समझना ज़्यादा ज़रूरी होता है किसी भी पेपर को पास करने के लिए. तो for instance, I have an example to share. In the preliminary examination this year, there was a question regarding a decree of execution in respect of restitution of conjugal rights. So in the options, I saw that 4 options consisted of the term arrest of the judgment debtor. I knew one thing, that as a fact, conceptually, the arrest of the judgment debtor would serve no purpose in the execution of a decree of restitution of conjugal rights. So I marked the 4th option and that was the correct option. This was possible only because I think my concepts were clear in this regard. I focused on conceptual clarity greatly. Regarding my preparation strategy, the other factors, apart from the bare act, my focus was on the past year question papers of the Delhi Judicial Examination as well as the other judicial services examinations held in other states of India. So I think past year papers are a very good starting point for any candidate to begin their preparation, because not only does it give you an idea of the level of questions that are asked, oftentimes questions are repeated in examinations, and this is a very good exercise not only to test your existing knowledge, but even as you go through your preparation, as you read more and more, you will know what lacuna you have in your preparation and where you lack and where you can cover up. As far as the strategy for attempting the preliminary paper, my strategy was to attempt the maximum number of questions possible, because accuracy is something that you cannot be very sure of in the preliminary paper. This was my strategy. I know people who are more accurate in their guesses, in their answers. So if accuracy suits you, I do not think that you should go for attempting more and more questions even if you're not sure of the answers. What my target was, that I wanted to attempt as many questions as I could, so that later when the marks were to be evaluated, I could stand to gain somewhere in the process, because there is more to gain if you obtain a correct answer than to lose if you mark an incorrect answer. After the preliminary examination, the mains examination had to come. We had about 21 days between the preliminary examination and the mains examination this time. The mains were conducted on the 9th and 10th February 2019. So in the 21 days that I had, my focus was entirely on the legal subjects. My strategy consisted of revising the bare acts and referring to my notes, whatever I had made during my college days. So that helped me a lot in my preparation. I'll discuss the paper-wise strategy now that I had adopted. There are 4 papers in the mains, in the scheme of mains examination. The first paper is of the English and GK. It is of 250 marks, and I had not prepared anything for the English portion very specifically, but for the translations I used to practice translations sometimes when from the newspapers, whenever I used to get a little tired from reading law. जब थोड़ा लॉ पढ़ के दिमाग थक जाता था तो फिर ब्रेक लेने के लिए मैं ट्रांसलेशंस की प्रैक्टिस कर लेती थी. तो उसके अलावा जनरल स्टडीज़ का जो जनरल नॉलेज का पार्ट था, जनरल नॉलेज मैंने कुछ टॉपिक्स इंटरनेट से गूगल करे थे जो उस टाइम पे करंट अफेयर्स में ज़्यादा चल रहे थे. सिंस वी हैड टू राइट एसेज इन आवर पेपर, आई यूज्ड टू गूगल टॉपिक्स एंड ऑब्टेन द पॉइंट्स फॉर एंड अगेंस्ट ऑन ऑल दोज टॉपिक्स, एंड आई थिंक दोज हेल्प्ड मी इन द एसेज दैट आई रोट. सो अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट, I used to refer to Pratyogita Darpans and Drishti current affairs to brush up on my general knowledge. This was in addition to the newspaper reading that I used to do. I had prepared a case list for some of the subjects that I had studied. For the other subjects, I used to prepare synoptic notes consisting of the topics and the major headings under them. So if I had to write an answer on them, my focus was that I should not skip out on any major point. So this is where synoptic notes helped me a lot. For instance, I'm able to remember one right now. In the civil law paper, you will have to study the Delhi Rent Control Act. In there, I had prepared synoptic notes for the topic of, say, suppose tenant. So I used to answer who is a tenant, what does the term include, what does the term exclude. All this is there in the bare act itself, it's there in the section. So what does the term include, what does the term exclude, and after that I used to see what is meant by statutory tenancy, what is meant by contractual tenancy, the difference between them, the major cases following on those points. So this made my answer holistic. So if any question on tenant was to come, I would browse through these topics and see whatever used to fit the answer with the demand of the question. I used to mention that. The questions that are asked in the DJS examination at the main stage, they are direct and application based. They are a mix of both. So in the application based questions, the strategy was a little different. I used to consider each and every fact and then think about the existing law on that point, and that made answering those questions very easy, because application based questions, you need to apply the existing law to them. There is if you choose a side to your answer and if you substantiate it with sufficient material, then your answer is not fully incorrect. Your answer may not be fully correct, but it's not fully incorrect that way. But in the theory questions, in the academic questions, your answer needs to be correct. It needs to contain the existing the landmark case laws. It needs to cover the literature, the legal literature fully. So this way my strategy for attempting both the types of questions was a little different also. I did not have time, but I can recommend that people who do have time and who have the target of appearing for judicial services examinations sometime in future, they can write some mock tests, or they can practice some questions on their own by referring to the past year papers. The kind of questions that have been asked, they can be practiced again. So that might help the candidates. The answer format that I used to keep in all my questions was a very consistent format consisting of an introduction, a body. I used to prefer writing in points and giving suitable headings wherever they were required, and in the end I used to conclude my answers with a suitable conclusion so as to make my answer complete. Otherwise, I have seen that answers without a conclusion, it somehow leaves an impression that this answer was written in a hurry and that something else could have been added and the candidate was not very careful about it. So concluding an answer is, I think, a very good habit that might fetch you more marks. Now coming back to the paper-wise strategy that I had, so paper 1 was English and GK that I have already discussed. Paper 2 was criminal law. So in criminal law we had IPC, CRPC and the Evidence Act. For IPC I had referred to Pillai and selected portions from AK Jain, and I used to refer to my college class notes extensively because my class notes were pretty good for IPC, so I used to refer to them. And IPC is a topic which I think can be covered quickly because the offences, once you know the ingredients, once you know the gist of it, and the landmark cases, there is not much left to be done in IPC. Also, I used to write, although the focus was on memorizing as many cases and writing them in the examination, but wherever possible, if I did not remember a case exactly, I did not bluff by making up cases. Instead, I would give examples of my own or use an illustration that's there in the BERAC. BERACs are provided in the examination hall. For the DGS mains examinations, you will get BERACs in the examination hall. So, I did not spend a lot of time in mugging up the section, definition and the language. The essentials were always there in the mind, but instead of focusing on the smaller bits of the BERAC, I focused my attention more on the concept of the section so that it could be more clear in the examination when I write them. In respect of CRPC, my preparation was from Kelkar, bits of Kelkar. I used to refer to some selected portions of Kelkar, and AK Jain helped me in my preparation along with the college class notes. All my preparation was supplemented by my college notes, and for some topics I had purchased the study material that's available in the market. So those are ready-made compilations. Those are also very helpful because they give you topics and cases all at the same place, and they are exclusively meant for the preparation of judicial services examinations. So candidates may refer to them if they do not have any other alternative. However, I would strongly advise that nothing replaces the notes that a person makes themselves. So, and the evidence, in respect of the Evidence Act, my preparation was based on the BERAC reading, of course, but AK Jain and selected bits from Avtar Singh. In respect of paper 3, that is Civil Law 1. Civil Law 1 is, in my opinion, was for me the toughest paper because it had a lot of acts to be covered. It had a lot of, its syllabus was the maximum in my opinion, and all the acts were very small acts, so you could not really leave out on anything in all those papers. So I had studied most of them from the BERAC readings, supplemented by AK Jain. Contracts, Sale of Goods Act, Specific Relief Act, the family laws, Hindu law, Muslim law. For family law, I had referred to AK Jain extensively and supplemented it by the compilations that are available in the market, because family law is a little tedious to be done in a very short span of time. So this is what I had focused my preparation on. In Civil Law 2, we have 4 subjects. We have CPC, Evidence Act, Limitation Act and the Registration Act. Evidence Act appears in criminal law as well as in civil law too, but the orientation is entirely different. So the portions that are required to be studied for criminal law, they are not required to be read again for civil law too. So this way candidates are advised to devise their strategy accordingly. For civil law 2, for CPC, I had referred to Takwani and AK Jain. For the Limitation Act, my preparation was based on the compilation available by Singhal, and for the Registration Act also I had referred to single as well as the market compilations that are available. So this was my strategy for the 4 papers of the mains. And as regards the answer writing in mains, I told you about the format. I preferred not to bluff in my paper. So if I did not know anything, I did not write the answer or I did not beat around the bush. अगर कुछ नहीं आता हो तो छोड़ देना बेटर होता है, क्योंकि हाई कोर्ट will always know more than you. So your knowledge will never meet their standards per se. Therefore, it's not necessary. So therefore, it's nothing to feel. It's nothing. It's normal if you do not know an answer and you can skip that answer, or you can write only to the extent that you know. You will have the bare acts, you can refer to them, you can try finding something in the bare acts, but do not bluff in the paper, because that gives a very wrong impression. And if the examiner catches you bluffing, then all your subsequent answers will also, he will check that with a very suspicious state of mind whether this is true or not. So this is the last thing that you might want in your paper, that even your true attempts are read suspiciously. So I think staying true to oneself is very important. Keep your answers crisp, clear, and maintain a proper uniform structure in your answers. I did not skip. I used to attempt answers in a serial order. However, if you know one answer better than all the others, it's advisable that you start from that answer. But I preferred not to jump a lot in the question paper. Attempting answer 1, then 7, then 9, then 2, then I didn't do that. I used to attempt in an order. So this makes it easier for the examiner. And if you do not, if you make things easier for the examiner, I think this reflects on your marks as well. So this was my strategy for the mains examination. As regards the interview, in the interview, for the interview, I used to read the newspaper daily, so that helped me again. Although we weren't asked a lot of questions in the interview, the interviews were very short, because I think there were a lot of candidates to be interviewed. They could not afford to hold very long interviews. So otherwise, my preparation strategy was, I used to read the newspapers, I revised the bare acts, and I kept myself informed of the legal current affairs that were going on at that time. So all that was my interview strategy. And I think the interview is mostly a test of your personality, because your knowledge has been tested at the stage of the mains. So in the interview, it's very important to keep a very pleasing, optimistic, and a suitable personality, a personality befitting of a judge. So even if you do not know something, again, instead of bluffing before the interview board, you can say politely that I do not know the answer. So that's not taken very negatively, unless it's something unless it's for something absolutely basic. So which I'm sure that if you have cleared mains, then your basics have to be clear. So the interview is being a personality test. So you need to be sure that your personality, you are well groomed and not shabbily dressed, neatly dressed, and be courteous, be kind, be polite. And I think nothing else is required for an interview preparation. So this was my strategy. This was what I had done for this examination. And I think consistency and hard work supported by knowledge, definitely, that makes clearing any competitive examination easy and achievable. So thank you.